New on KREM 2 News tonight, the Pima County Sheriff's Department detained a person of interest in connection with the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie. What we know so far. Plus, for the first time, we're hearing from the Airway Heights man convicted of torturing and killing an 8-year-old girl as he's sentenced for his crimes.
Sunny and mild again tomorrow, but clouds are back in the forecast before a chance of rain later this week.
Good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News. I'm Sydney Schofield. Two big developments today in the Nancy Guthrie disappearance case. First, authorities detained a person of interest in the investigation. This comes hours after the FBI shared images of a masked individual captured on Nancy Guthrie's front porch on the night she was abducted. CBS's Andres Gutierrez is in Tucson with the latest.
Two law enforcement sources tell CBS News the Pima County Sheriff's Department detained a person of interest in connection with the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie. The person was reportedly in a city south of Tucson. The development comes 10 days after Nancy Guthrie, the mother of Today Show co-host Savannah Guthrie, was first reported missing. On Tuesday morning, authorities released these images captured the night Nancy Guthrie was taken from her Tucson area home. A masked individual stands on Guthrie's front porch wearing thick gloves and carrying both a backpack and an apparent gun attached to their waist. At one point, the individual holds branches in an apparent attempt to block the doorbell camera before it's disconnected.
We believe our mom is still out there. We need your help.
The release of the images come less than 24 hours after Savannah Guthrie took to social media to ask for the public's help in finding their mother.
Investigators pulled this video from back-end systems. It took them 10 days because Nancy Guthrie's cameras weren't connected to the cloud and originally hadn't recorded anything.
The FBI says Guthrie's Nest camera was disabled at 1:47 a.m. 41 minutes later, her pacemaker app disconnected from her phone, which was left behind along with a trail of blood.
What does this video mean for the case?
It's really going to break this case wide open.
Late today, search teams with the Sheriff's Department along with the FBI went door to door through the neighborhood where Nancy Guthrie's daughter, Annie, and her son-in-law live. There is no word yet on the identity of the person detained. Andres Gutierrez, CBS News, Tucson.
And new tonight, a Boundary County woman has been found guilty on 2 counts of child sexual abuse. 51-year-old Catherine Cowell faced 2 counts of lewd conduct with a minor under 16 years old. Today, a jury returned 2 guilty verdicts against her. Her husband, Richard Cowell III, pleaded guilty to similar charges back in July. Cowell and her husband were arrested last year at their home, which also operated as an unlicensed daycare center in Naples, Idaho. Today, a Spokane County judge sentenced an Airway Heights man after he admitted to playing a part in the torture and death of 8-year-old Mila Miller. Regan Gallo was in the courtroom today. She brings us the latest.
22 years. That's how many years Alexander Komoyarov will spend in custody after pleading guilty to murder, assault, and unlawful imprisonment of an 8-year-old little girl.
Alexander Komoyarov told a Spokane County judge he takes full responsibility for his actions.
I am lost for words. My actions said enough.
Komoyarov's sentencing is the second in the case over the death of an 8-year-old Mila Miller. As part of a plea deal, he will spend 22 years in prison.
All I can ask of all of you is to forgive me. I deserve the punishment.
In December of 2022, Komoyarov was arrested along with his girlfriend, Mandy Miller. Investigators say the two drove Miller's 8-year-old adopted daughter, Mila, from Airway Heights to South Dakota in a U-Haul truck. Court documents show Mila was already deceased while in a coffin inside the vehicle. Investigators described the couple's story of how Mila died changed, and Komoyarov admitted to hitting the girl and tying her in a bathrobe similar to a straitjacket. He also told investigators his girlfriend Miller would also hit Mila's toes with a hammer when she would misbehave.
The state does acknowledge the defendant's meaningful cooperation with law enforcement and the prosecution, and his plea also spares the community a trial.
Mandy Miller was sentenced to 32 years just days ago on February 6th. Tuesday afternoon, Judge Michelle Zamblin told Komoyarov she recognized his ability to take responsibility since his arrest but emphasizes no sentence will ease the pain of Mila's family.
It's a terrible day, but I do hope that it gives some legal finality to the family.
A Spokane County Victim Witness Unit advocate read statements from Mila's grandmother and aunt before the final sentence.
To experience sadness, shock, and heartbreak as I try to live with knowing she is gone and that she didn't have anyone to protect her.
Chief Deputy Criminal Prosecutor for Spokane County stated after the sentencing that it was encouraging to see Komoyrov admit guilt.
And as the years go by, the things that Mila will never be able to do, the highlights, the moments, the birthdays, the holidays, that will never leave these families. And as a community, it should never leave us.
I'm reporting in Spokane. Regan Gallo, KREM 2 News.
Also new tonight, we're getting our first look at the preliminary numbers in the election for the East Valley School District bond. Right now, it looks like the bond is not passing. The preliminary results of the $220 million bond show an approval rate of just under 55% and a no vote of just over 45%. The proposal needs to reach 60% for the bond to pass. Here's a look now at how the numbers stand. A final ballot count will come later this month. All right, let's take a break from the headlines and head outside. Our chief meteorologist, Jeremy Legoo, in the Outdoor Weather Center. A gorgeous day today, Jeremy, but a pretty cold night tonight.
Yeah, temperatures already dropping quite substantially out here on the back patio. Check this out. Back in the mid-30s, said we were dropping below freezing. We are going to do that. It is going to be a chilly night for a lot of us. Already down to 31 in Deer Park, 30 in Sandpoint, but by tomorrow morning, we are all falling back into the 20s. Bundle up, but dress in layers. We have a big change in the works. All of our storm activity down to the south stays that way. All of our moisture up to the north stays there as well. We wind up right in the middle of it. And for us, that equates to sunshine and a lot of it as we move through the day. Best chance of clouds maybe early in the morning, and then from there on, it's all about the sun. Thursday is a completely different story. Cloudy and really a tough break to even find even a peak of sunshine. Friday, even more cloud cover as we brace for a weekend round of storms. Sunny and 46 tomorrow afternoon after that chilly start to the day. 41 Thursday, 42 Friday. And we'll be talking rain and mountain snow this weekend coming up in the full forecast.
All right, Jeremy, thank you. Hey, stay with us here on KREM 2 News tonight. The rally at the Capitol today in support of a statewide tax on millionaires. What the money would go toward if that tax passes. And today, a mass shooting at a Canadian school left 8 dead and 2 more killed nearby. Everything we know coming up after the break.